Hello everyone, it's Jackie from Pretty Paper Crafts. Just come on today to show you my latest make. Now, this has been done before and there are plenty out there. I just thought I would show you my version. It's not a lot of difference, but it's I make it without the need for dies. You can make it with dies. There is a die set that does it, but it is tiny and it's not as big as this one. Basically what it is a, hang on, is a card. Sits like that. Yeah, and it folds nice and flat, or reasonably flat, and I actually made boxes for them as well, and it just slots in the box. I do have a box die excuse me, that just makes these small ones, and it just fits in lovely. So let's go ahead. Let me just do this. Now what you're going to need is you're going to need white card, or in my case white card, 2 cards. I basically used a 6x8 and trimmed off 1/4 of an inch. Now the reason I've done that is because most envelopes and things are 8 inch and the cards are usually 7 3/4. So you need 2 cards and a piece of card. Now these two, both ordinary opening cards, I'll show you what to do with them in a moment. You need a piece of thin piece of card, which is for your stopper on the easel card. Where the easel card sits like that, it basically stops it from sliding any further. So you have what I call a stopper, just a little something that stops it going flat. So let me just put that back. So you need this stopper in a mirror card, basically in a white first, the same color as your card, and you want this to be 1 inch by 7 3/4. No, sorry, 1 times 7 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch. Foam spacer on the back, that's to raise it up, and therefore it stops it skidding. Now, as I said, you need 2 of these. You need mirror card and pattern, if that's what, depending what you're going to be doing. I'll show you what I've done with these at the end, but I made a couple of wedding cards. I made some birthday cards. So you need that. You don't actually need that yet. You don't actually need this yet. What you do need to do is this. Now you're going to have, you have 2 of these, and basically you're going to open them both up like that, and you're going to put one inside the other like that. You're going to glue that piece there, and you're going to put that on there, fold it all over so the glue sticks in there, and you've got an easel card. That's all it's going to be. Your stopper will go there, and that's what you're left with. And then you just decorate it with your stopper across here. There we go. That's what you have. It's quite easy. It's quite easy when you've been shown. It doesn't strike me as that easy when you don't know what you're doing. But when you've done it or been shown it, it is quite easy. Easel cards are so popular these days anyway. So that's what you start with, those. When you've stuck that on there like that, this is what you're left with. It's glued on the back here, nice and flat, and this is what you're left with. So this one here, you may have to just trim a slither off there if it doesn't sit in there nice. That again, it depends on how wide your scoreboard is. or your scoreboard tool that you're using. So just, it doesn't matter to cut a slither off there, because that will then go on there. So that's where I put there. You might have to trim slightly. So then you have your front, that will be like that, and then this will go on here. So that's your second stage. That's what you're left with after you've glued those two on top of each other. I'm going to keep that just for a minute. Now your mats and layers. What I'm going to do is I thought I'd put this on here just so you can screenshot these, because I don't know how many layers you want on here. I've done 5, which is why I've worked out how many it is. So if you look at this one, the actual bottom layer is glued to the front here. So this isn't a layer, this is the card, because this whole thing, I mean obviously it's got a card on it, is put on, you build these layers up and then you glue it on your card afterwards. So this one I've got 5 layers. I started with the gold mirroring. 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, 1, 2, I've only got 4 on there. There is another one that's got 5, but obviously I've used 4 on most of them. But this, you can screenshot that, and that will tell you what sizes. So this one, if you're going to use this, you would say, or I have said, that's a mirror card layer. This is a pattern layer. And then mark it all the way down. So then it makes it easier when you go to cut your layers, which size you're going to be doing. So this one, as I said, this first one is a mirror one, and it's 5 3/4 by 7.5, and that was this one which I built the first layer on. Now this is what I would say is the first layer. Now what I have done is I bend them slightly. I just put a little bit of a crease. You don't want too much of a crease, because otherwise you would have to put a thin slither of card or something down there, or a bit of ribbon. So it doesn't matter, but it is just slightly there. The curves I'll run through in a second. But you don't really want a firm crease, but you do want something. It doesn't show up on pattern like it does with the mirror card. Excuse me, I've just got awful bad throat, and I've just got a niggle that I can't get rid of. Anyway, sorry for that. Now on the back of this is the first one, as I said, it's 5 3/4 by 7.5. All the layers are treated the same. You want a thin or a thicker piece of, no, probably it needs to be a thin one, because these are going to be raised up. So a thin strip of red liner tape. Now on the edges, both sides, you need some foam. Now it doesn't really matter what depth it is, 2mm, 3mm. You don't really want any more than that. And you want a strip across there and a strip across there. I don't have it in strips. Mine are all little squares now, so I just cut them into 3 and then put them on there. But you want them about 1/4 inch, 3/8 away from the edge, because I'll explain when you go to actually stick them on. So red liner tape and these. Now when you go to actually put it on, you peel this one off. This, by the way, this foam is easier to put on while this is free. I unfortunately didn't put mine on till afterwards. So if you marked the middle of your card, I won't do it now, but if you marked the middle of your card and then you peeled that off, and you would stick that down there. But remember, this has been built before you're putting it on your card. I'm just showing you how to deal with it while we've got a bit of playroom. In fact, I've even stuck that upside down. No, I haven't. So this part then, you take these off. There you go. Now what I did do, and it helps obviously, is I put a pencil. You do want something long enough that's going to come out both sides. I put a pencil under there about halfway, laid it on there, and then, only then did I do that. And then when you take this out, there's your curve. So let me just do this one. Again, you don't want it flat, so I put that in there about halfway across on the card. A little bit of pressure with my thumbs, steer it down there, and that stays there. And then you peel it out, and there's your first layer. If you put your foam too close to the edge, then it just looks a bit bulky, whereas if you do it like that, can you just see that? Vaguely, yep. So that's principally it. That would sit like that. Your stopper there, hold on a second, sorry about this. Sorry. Yep, and that is your card ready to go. Now when you've done your layers like that, this is what it will look like. So you've got each layer. It doesn't matter if they're different, you know, too far one side, too far the other. It really doesn't matter. It's supposed to denote a book which is open on separate pages. So this is the one that I haven't done anything with, but I wanted you to see down through there what it looks like. It's quite an effective card. It's lovely, especially if you use the golds and the mirror cards. That's even nicer. So back to this one. As I said, I made a box to match. I will be putting a bit of red liner tape across there to hold it close when the card's been wrote on. I've done the triple one like that. Some of the butterflies, I kept the theme one here, and it can be wrote on either on the back there or on the back where I've got the verse. So that's that one. Then I made this gold one as well, slightly different. I do need to do something there. I'm not quite sure yet. I might just put a big bow there. And this again is a happy birthday one. Just mirror card there. Haven't added anything else. And there is my verse on the back. So that's the second one. I just got a little charm on some of them. I haven't got to that yet. And wedding one. One of the wedding ones. Now this one. This is, have I got a charm? No, I haven't got a charm on this. I've actually put a little gift card on there so they could write on it there if they wanted, rather than write on it on the back. And there it just says congratulations there, and it's got some beads. And again, I've done the box card to match. Here's the purple colour one. There's the box. And this is what I mean by, it was just a necklace that came in an advent calendar that I subscribe to, and I keep all the little bits. They're perfect. I just put them on a little bit of fishing wire that you can't see, some very fine stuff. It's perfect for this colour. This is a nice birthday one, and this one is like that. You can just see that. You see down the depth, this is a little bit deeper. Now, again, I probably just used a different thickness pen. Not this one, because that would have stopped it, but a different thickness pen. The thicker the pen, the thicker your gap. But it still looks as good no matter what size. That's the sample. So I've done that little charm on there. That goes on there. And the final one is another wedding card. I've done a little heart gem, transparent one. I actually done the 6 layers on here because I've done this. I had some sparkle, it's not called acetate, it's called, I can't remember, it's gone from me. Anyway, it's this stuff, and it's a sparkle one, so it just looked nice on the top of the sparkle card that I've used. It's, it doesn't leave any bits. And I matched that with a little bit of that going the other way on the bottom end. I put it on a piece of silver, so there's the stopper. So can you see that one as best you can looking at it overhead? It's really, really pretty, that one, because it just catches the light. So that's that one. That's all of them. If you go to my Facebook group, Pretty Paper Crafts, you'll be able to see more close-up photos, because I will do them, and I'll have them for you to look at. So that's it for now. I'm working on the next one. In the meantime, thank you again to everybody that's still with me, and I will see you next time. Bye bye then. Bye.